Yo, what is up guys, it's Zero here, and today we're going to be taking a look at my top 5 upcoming MMORPG list. Now, these are just the 5 that I'm most excited for. They're not really in any specific order. There are more upcoming MMORPGs. These ones seem like they're the closest to release, in my opinion. So, that's why I went with these. Obviously, I didn't throw in any obvious MMORPGs or expansions or anything. I didn't think that that would be fair. And I want people to find new MMORPGs. I mean, I'm sure most of you guys have probably heard of these, but we're kind of limited these days when it comes to MMORPGs. I mean, there's not... it's not like what it used to be. It seems like it's picking up. Don't get me wrong. It seems like it's picking up and it's getting better. And, you know, more and more MMORPGs are coming out, and that's quite nice. I'm very happy that that is becoming a thing again. Like, MMORPGs feel like we're in like a, what would you call it, a second wind, a revival of sorts. I don't know, it just seems like developers are taking an interest again, and that is nice. The quality of these MMOs might not be up to par with what we're looking for, but hopefully we'll find the one. The alleged WoW killer, as they used to call it. But anyways, yeah. So, as I said in the previous video, I'm going to be coming out with a lot more content. This is just the start of it. I figured we'd kick things off with a top 5 list this time. Top 10. You know, like I said, there's not a whole lot of MMORPGs coming out. I could probably, you know, get one put together, but I didn't want to force it. So, we're just going to go with top 5, and that'll do us just for now. Expect more MMORPG content and more game news, weekly recaps. They're all coming back. I still got to work on the weekly recap format. I've been testing a few things here and there, and I'm not sure how I want to do it yet. But yeah, this is all going to be coming back, and game development videos. That's going to be a thing because I'm working on 2 different games right now, and I want to document it. So, or devlogs, I guess is the correct term. But yeah, enough rambling. Let's get into the list. Alright, in the number 5 spot, we have Tarus Land. Tarus Land is essentially just the Chinese version of World of Warcraft. So if you guys remember, World of Warcraft had a deal with a publisher in China. That deal fell south whenever it was time to renew the contract. They couldn't come to an agreement, and then Blizzard just pulled out. They gave an option to save, I think, everybody's character, so then whenever they do come back, they can restore their accounts. But yeah, not a good situation at all. And then shortly after that, I believe Tencent announced Tarus Land, and that is going to fill the void of World of Warcraft, I suppose, because it is a lengthy process to get a publisher put together and go through the, I think it's like the CCP's like regulations or whatever to get a game in there. I'm not too knowledgeable with Chinese politics, so forgive me if I'm wrong, but that is my understanding. I don't know how it's going to stack up with World of Warcraft. I can imagine that the cash shop probably isn't going to be too great, but from my understanding, the Blizzard cash shop in China wasn't that great either, and let's be real, in the States, it's not that great. So, I don't know. We'll see how it stacks up, but it's looking pretty, like a pretty big ripoff of WoW, to be honest. That being said, I do like the art style. It looks like a more updated version of what World of Warcraft would look like, or could look like. So I do like that. Something about the cartoony characters that, like you see in World of Warcraft, something about it just stylized, I guess is the correct word. Stylized characters. So something about it, it just ages pretty good. Like, if you look at World of Warcraft, it doesn't look terrible. Some areas are not great, but I mean, overall, for how old the game is, it doesn't look that bad. So the classes in this game are Ranger, Paladin, Warrior, Mage, Priest, Bard, and the Barbarian Fighter. I honestly would probably play Warrior. Paladin looks like a ripoff of Anduin Wrenn from World of Warcraft, so yeah, I don't know. It's got a big open world. It's got raids. I mean, basically like World of Warcraft. I don't know what else I need to say about it. So, on to the next. Alright, next up on our list is Blue Protocol. Now, if you're a fan of anime MMORPGs, I'm sure you probably already heard about this. This is an upcoming online action RPG developed by Bandai Namco, and it is developed in Unreal Engine 4. Now, it is being brought to the rest of the world through Amazon Game Studios. And, if you are unfamiliar with their work, they are the team, not Amazon Game Studios, if you're unfamiliar with the developers' work, they are the team behind the Tales series, Tekken, Ace Combat, etc. They make so many good games. Let's be real. So, the classes in this game are Blade Warden, Keen Strider, Twin Striker, Spellweaver, and Foebreaker. The combat absolutely looks incredible. I think it's just the right amount of pacing, and on top of that, the flashy art style and effects, it just looks really good. And that's probably what has me the most hyped for this game. I am a complete sucker for flashy action combat. I don't care much for tab targeting, to be honest. That being said, World of Warcraft has taken some steps in the right direction for its tab targeting system and made it seem a lot more fast-paced. And I really like that, because in Classic WoW, I don't like how slow it is. It's boring to me. Everything else about the game, or everything else about Classic WoW, I really love, but the combat is just way too slow. Okay, on to the next. Okay, next up on our list is Chrono Odyssey. Now, Chrono Odyssey has a Souls-like combat with a bit of a twist, but either way, this game is being developed by Inpixel, based in South Korea. It was originally supposed to be released in 2023. That didn't happen, however, and it is now projected to release in early 2024. Now, when it does release, though, it is planned to have a PC release, a console release, and mobile release. I don't know what that means, specifically. I'm not sure if a mobile release would be a good or bad thing, but here lately it's seeming like a bad thing. Judging by other games, like Throne and Liberty, for example, whenever it was originally planned to release, it had really terrible combat, for one, but also it had the mobile release, and because of that, the PC release was heavily catered to use the same systems as the mobile release. So, terrible cache shop, for one, and also autoplay features, which don't really have a place for PC MMORPGs, at least in my opinion, and I'm sure a lot of other MMORPG players that play on PC feel the same way. It's not something I don't want to mobilize. I don't know if that's the correct terminology, but we'll use it. Mobilize our PC MMORPGs. I don't want them to become like mobile games. I want them to be way different than mobile games. Especially the monetization. And, well, that and the autoplay features. It really just has no place in PC. So, anyways, we'll see how this one is. So far, it looks pretty exciting, judging by the gameplay trailer. But, we'll see. Alright, on to the next. Okay, next up on our list is Throne and Liberty. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys have probably already heard about this one. This one was originally announced as Lineage Eternal in November of 2011, but it has suffered many delays and went through several changes and is now a completely different game and entitled Throne and Liberty. That being said, Throne and Liberty, whenever it came out with its closed beta test, suffered a lot of critical feedback because the combat just was not good. The game itself had autoplay features, and it felt more like a mobile game, because it pretty much was. It was developed for PC and mobile, and it seems like they catered more towards the mobile development rather than PC development. So they have went back to the drawing board and completely redone the game. The combat is a lot better. Amazon Game Studios, I believe, is taking out all the autoplay features. So for the global release, it's going to be different. That being said, the game is still being developed by NCSoft. NCSoft doesn't have the best reputation for monetization. The cash shop probably isn't going to be that great. Something that disappointed me was the combat. I mean, it looks a lot better than it did, but it's still tab targeting. So I was under the impression that they were converting it to an action combat, and I guess that wasn't the case. So this is another tab targeting game. Still exciting. They have big open battles with so many players. That seems really cool. The different weather can like affect your damage or how your spells interact with things. So say like it's a lightning storm or whatever, then your lightning is no longer single target, it's a chain lightning and it attacks multiple targets. You'll do more damage, stuff like that. And then on top of the fact, when it's during the day, different enemies and different like dungeons and stuff are open compared to when it's night. It is a very interesting living world, I would say. What they accomplished there seems pretty awesome. And I'm excited to see what that all entails. But so far, that seems pretty cool. All right, on to our number 1 pick. All right, and finally on our list, we have Ashes of Creation. I bet this came to not really a big surprise to anyone here. Ashes of Creation is probably one of the most hyped MMORPGs to come out in recent time. It is developed in Unreal Engine 5. It first gained notoriety whenever it passed its $750,000 goal on Kickstarter in under 12 hours, eventually raising over $3 million. It features a dynamic system of world building where players' actions directly contribute to the layout of the game world, which is very interesting. They have several different classes, and then I guess it's archetypes, and then you get several sub-archetypes after level 25. And it seems very interesting to see like the class customization that you can really dive into. Like most other MMORPGs, the gameplay is driven in third person, utilizing hotbar and tab targeting for combat. It's less exciting to me. I don't really care for tab targeting. It is developed by Intrepid Studios and published by Intrepid Studios. So at least monetization in this game, I feel, would be better off than most other MMORPGs, especially since it's developed and published by the same studio. That's not always going to be the case. I feel a little bit better about this specific game, and it seems like they are responding to player feedback and really implementing the changes necessary to make a good MMORPG. This is a passion project. This is something that they actually genuinely care about. So it is nice to see this level of passion in a MMORPG that's being developed. It's something that's kind of rare. All right, that's going to wrap up our top 5 list. It's good to be back, to be honest. I like making content, and I like looking at all the new games coming out. It's something that I've always found pretty exciting. That being said, I mean, whenever I started to stop, that makes sense. Whenever I slowed down in content, it was getting a little bit old, with just because of the fact that there was not very many good MMORPGs coming out, and it just felt like an endless cycle. But now things are picking back up. I know it kind of doesn't seem like it with this list, but they really are. There's a lot of exciting stuff on the horizon, so hopefully something sticks and we find something that we've been looking for quite a while now at this point. But anyways, if I missed any game, let me know down in the comments. Also, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, leave a dislike if you didn't, subscribe for more. There's going to be more MMORPG content coming, game first looks, reviews, what have you. Just let me know if there's anything specifically that you want me to check out or you want to see my thoughts on. Yeah, it's been Zero. Peace out.